Fantastic groups such as the Quilters, Bible Study, Gardeners, and the Men's Group, just to name a few. Today I want to highlight just a few of the activities that have been taking place since the beginning of the year and our last full congregational meeting. At the annual meeting, you elected 3 new council members, Mark Beecher, Jeff Johnson, and Jane Mohit. Shortly after that, the council elected its slate of officers for the year. Myself as president, Scott Henry as vice president, Jeff Johnson as secretary, and Grace Rossman as treasurer. Since the beginning of the year, our fantastic new organist has also joined our remarkable staff, and we're very grateful to have Randy with us. We have been dedicating resources and funding towards some key projects for the building and grounds here. A broken air conditioning unit in the fellowship hall was replaced with a brand new unit, and on days like today, it's something we are very grateful for. We also thought it was important to review our building security. The initial step was to develop some security protocols and identify where we thought there was some potential risk. We live in a very safe community, but there's always some risk. So working closely, the council and the Building and Ground Committee, they evaluated potential solutions, and the council has recently approved the purchase and installation of some enhanced security features that are going to better secure our building and also help make our staff feel safer, especially at night in and off hours. You'll start to see some of that showing up pretty soon. I do want to really thank Tom and the Building Committee for working with us on this and for all the hard work they do to maintain the building and grounds here. We've also, as a council, focused on our community engagement as a church in a variety of ways, both big and small. Hopefully, some of you were able to attend the Pathways to Mental Wellness event that brought a very impactful speaker, not only to Shepherd of the Bay, but to the community and the school as well. That event was very well received and provided some very important information and resources. Our bus ministry continues to be very busy transporting individuals. They've been in the Ellison Day Parade, if you saw that. They've been helping transport J1 students to a variety of events, including some Bridges gatherings. In fact, Shepherd of the Bay is going to be hosting one of these J1 student events again this summer in August, and I think they're still looking for some volunteers if you're looking to help. We're also going to use the bus to provide transportation during a portion of the Peninsula Music Festival. As many of you know, the parking over there is a little wonky right now because of all the construction, so they've asked our bus to help shuttle from parking. But because of that, we are actually going to provide some rides from Scandia Village to several of the concerts. So if you live at Scandia and you're interested in going to PMF and would need a ride, there should be a sign-up sheet in the back. If not, I'll make sure there's one. It'll be on a first-come, first-served basis. Dick Burris is generously donating his time to drive that. So again, if you live in PMF and you want to ride to any of the concerts, we won't be at all of them because the bus will be going to Carolina for the mission trip, but for the ones that are available, feel free to sign up for a ride. The council has also approved financial support for Crossways Camp Ministry, which many of our youth have participated in over the many years. Also for the community, Pastor Jim's going to be participating in a program that is designed to help struggling congregations in the Green Bay Conference. This is with the full support of the council. Many congregations don't currently have a pastor, and so they've put together a group of rotating pastors to help fill their pulpit during that time. The partnership with Habitat for Humanity continues, as well as builds here in northern Door County. The mission trip to Guatemala provided resources and awareness for that community, and as you saw, next week we have another mission trip heading to North Carolina to assist with hurricane recovery efforts. It's been a while and it is still devastated, and we're very grateful for those who have volunteered to go and help with that reconstruction. One of the most impactful ministries here is Claude's Pantry. There is such a need for food in our community, and unfortunately, we just don't see that decreasing at all. In fact, it's been increasing recently. It makes it difficult for us to keep our shelves stocked with food. You know, we don't expect that to change, and therefore, your continued donations make it possible for us to provide this really important ministry. A very special thank you to Edie Matson for all of the time and work and dedication that she's done to keep Claude's Pantry going and successful as it is, and also to all those who help Edie with the pantry. We're also focused on our congregation's own well-being. As you heard during my update a couple weeks ago from Thriving Congregations, the council has approved the creation of a new position here at Shepherd of the Bay called the Congregational Care Coordinator. And this person is designed to help be a resource for anyone in the congregation or even the community who's looking to connect with resources or for help either at home or just about anything. It's going to be a clearinghouse to help. We're finalizing that job description, and we will actually be advertising for it in the very near future. Finally, for me, we're excited to be welcoming a representative from ELCA who is going to be presenting a very informative session on gift giving. I'm going to turn over to Grace Rossman now. She's going to provide a little bit more information on that, as well as give you a financial update, which is all those lovely papers that she just provided to you.
Thank you, Tara. The Endowment Committee has arranged for a gentleman named Joe Sullivan from the ELCA. He's a regional gift planner, and his job is to help us understand how to gift most efficiently and most generously. He is going to come here on August 17th and give a brief presentation about how he can help. And he will show us various estate planning options. And he is also offering to meet individually with anyone who would like to talk with him privately. So mark your calendar, that's August 17th, immediately after the service. Speaking of the endowment, the committee is Dave Brukart, Les Kepper, and Pastor Honig, and me. We have recently updated the bylaws, and the council has approved the updates, and the particulars about the endowment will be presented during the presentation on August 17th. But briefly, though, I'd like to highlight that the current value of the endowment stands over $400,000, and this is in no small part thanks to the amazing planning that Jan and Bruce Milkey did during their lifetimes. Understanding that the endowment is designed to pay out 5% annually, you can see that going forward, it's possible that we could see $20,000 a year paid out of the $400,000, and we hope that will grow. Let's turn to the two amazing financial reports that I passed out. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the Finance Committee for their help. That's Les Kepper, Dick Burris, and Scott Schultz. I count on these gentlemen to help me with just their perspective and their oversight, and I really appreciate that. For instance, recently we decided that the outside non-CPA audit review that we did last year should be repeated every 3 years. But our bylaws say we still need an internal audit every year. So I am asking right now that if you're looking at these reports and you think, well, this is really quite interesting, and you want to know more about the inner workings of the finances, this is your moment. Why are you laughing? So I promise an amazing and beautiful audit process. It won't take very much of your time, and I could even provide some snacks if you insist. So let me know if you want to do that. Okay, let's turn to the white sheet, which is the actuals versus budget, and it's about the operation of the church. So these are all about the expenses of the church. You can see the left column is the actual expenses. The next column to it is the budget through June 30th, half the year. And then I've got a column that just says what percent of that budget we have spent already. And then just for fun, because if it isn't fun, why wouldn't you do it? The 2025 budget, which would be the annual budget. So you can see we've got total revenue right now as of June 30th of $219,000 and some change. We had budgeted $208,000 and some change, so it looks like we're ahead of ourselves there, except the budget was designed, every month is going to have a different income amount because it's sort of backloaded, because we have found through experience that most revenue comes in at the last half of the year. Of note is line 7450, which is our major maintenance reserve. This is a thing that we've been doing now for 2 years. The council has approved $35,000 a year that gets tucked aside into a reserve for major maintenance because the building is getting old. And you can see that on line 7400 when we talk about caring for building and grounds. We're spending a little bit more than what we budgeted. And I think that's going to continue to happen. Next year, I think our budget will look a little bit different. We've got all sorts of things that Tara was talking about that just need attention. On the second page, if you look almost to the very bottom, you're going to see a line that says net operating revenue, and it says 61,000 and some change. And a nice feature of QuickBooks is if it's a negative number, it kind of hides it. But you will see there's a little itty bitty dash before the dollar sign. So right now, if you looked at revenue up against expenses, you would say we've spent more than we have in income. Hopefully that changes by the end of the year. You can see how we're budgeted. So we'll see how that goes. Does anybody have any questions or comments? Glenn? Oh, thank you for pointing that out. I have bad glasses on. So what Glenn was pointing out is I misread in the total revenue column, the budget to June 30th, we're budgeted for $228,000. I said it was $208,000. So thank you. Anything else about that one? The purple sheet is basically our balance sheet. And this talks about what the church owns and what the church owes. So what I've done here, the left column is current as of June 30th, and the column next to it is the previous year, 2024, so you can compare it a little bit. Of note is the endowment fund, line 1165. You can see that there's been some significant growth, and that is that gift from the Milky estate in there. And also some earnings, hallelujah. On the second page, line 3120 is our major maintenance account, and this is what's being funded for any kinds of things that need to be done to the building. So a year ago, it sat at about 78,000, and now it's at roughly 113,000, and that will continue to grow. And you see we've got these funds that are restricted and unrestricted, but basically they're held there for a specific purpose. For instance, we've got the Claude's Pantry, and we've got the music fund. There's all sorts of special funds that end up being kept there. Claude's Pantry is line 3150. You can see a year ago it was at 16,000, now it's at 22,000. I can tell you money comes out of that account every single month. So it's grown irregardless, which means that there are very generous people in this congregation. So thank you for that. Does anyone have any questions for me about that? All right. If you have any concerns or detailed questions you want to ask me, I might have an answer for you, so don't be bashful. And remember the audit committee, the most riveting and exciting committee of the church. Please let me know that you want to be a part of that. Thank you.
Thank you, Grace. And with that, we can open if anybody has any other questions or comments before we depart. If not, thank you so much for staying, and we appreciate you being part of our community, whether you're a member or not, and have a wonderful day. Enjoy the seat, and we'll see you next week. Don't forget, it's Potluck Sunday. Thank you.